Welcome to the video, all you beautiful people. At the time of recording this, we are roughly halfway through the Wixwell fusion. How is the fusion going for you guys? Has there been any sort of a struggle collecting any of these champions? Are you going for the fusion? Are you just going for some of the epics? Let me know down in the comments below, of course. And I'm also curious if any of you guys are actually pulling for this summoning portal event here. I don't think I'm going to be really focusing on it too much. I'm not really focused on getting any of the champions from this event. There are definitely some good champions in here though, like the faction leader, as well as our Mons, Valkyrie. I did actually pull a Contra fairly recently as well, which was pretty cool. I have a lot of these epics already, if not every single one of these epics actually, so I'm not stressing it too much. But what are we talking about today? We are talking about Yakarl, the Scourge, the free-to-play friendly void legendary in the game. This attack-based champion used to be absolutely horrible, but as you can see by the ratings, he's actually had a little bit of a he had a little bit of a buff, and people like him a lot more now. I still don't think he gets quite the credit he deserves, though, so we're going to do a video on him here today and showcase him a little bit. What does he do? Well, on his A1, he attacks one enemy 2 times, each hit having a 50% chance of placing a freeze, will ignore 25% of the target's defense against targets under freeze debuffs. All his damage is going to be based on attack, of course. His A2 Blizzard Rider attacks one enemy, has a 100% chance of placing the big version of decreased speed, and a 100% chance of placing a freeze for 1 turn. Also steals 100% of the target's turn meter and places a increased speed buff on this champion for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, meaning that increased speed is always going to be up. Will ignore 50% of the target's defense against targets under freeze debuffs. His A3 is going to attack all enemies having a 75% chance of placing a freeze for 1 turn. This chance increases to 100% against targets with 75% or more turn meter, and this debuff cannot be resisted by targets with 75% or more turn meter. What does his passive do? Well, the passive effect is increasing the damage this champion inflicts by 10% for each champion in battle under a freeze debuff, which could actually be pretty insane for something like Spider. He's also decreasing the damage he receives by 10% for each champion in battle under a freeze debuff, and his active effect on a 3-turn cooldown is that he places an unkillable buff on himself for 1 turn whenever he kills an enemy under a freeze. And he has an aura where he increases ally attack in all battles by 33%, which I would say is one of the best auras in the game, in terms of the attack increase at least. As you can see, I have quite a bit of 5-star gear on him, a lot of mismatched sets and whatnot, so my Yakarl is definitely not built the best. Take that into consideration. Here are the stats though: 30k HP, 4500 attack, 214 on the speed, 104 on the crit rate, and 211 on the crit damage. And he does have a little bit of accuracy thrown in there as well, so 276. If I go ahead and take a look at, for example, the Fire Knight's Castle, this is what he's going to be rocking because I do use him in Fire Knight quite a bit. So he's going to have 226 on the speed, he's going to have 324 on the accuracy, and 162 on the resistance, which is not the best. But let's break down this guy's kit a little bit more in depth. So where can you use this guy? We'll go into that a little bit later. The A1 double tap with a 50% chance of placing a freeze is an incredible skill. I will throw the multipliers up on screen probably right about now for you there to enjoy. So this skill is very good. He does have some very good multipliers as well. I accidentally just closed my champion screen. Let me find him again real quick. On his A2, this is an insane skill, and I don't think enough people are talking about this. Attacking one enemy, he places decreased speed and he places a freeze, but not only that, he steals 100% of the target's turn meter. So the full turn meter is gone, it goes to him instead. This is so insane, especially if you're using him in something like Arena or some of the PvP modes. I use him in Dark Fae all the time. He is a fantastic champion for that. As soon as we nuke down our own mirror copies, she does not get a turn, which is pretty crazy, and he is definitely a big part of that. And then, of course, for Fire Knight Hard, he can be incredibly useful as well. These are the masteries that I have on him. Let me go ahead and move myself here. The masteries, I'm coming down to Helm Smasher, where I ignore 25% of the target's defense. This is going to be big because a lot of his skill is based on ignoring defense already if there's freezes in the battle. I would recommend Helm Smasher if you're doing strictly just PvP. Sorry, PvE, you might want to go with War Master, though. That would be a good way to put it as well. And then, of course, I do have him with the Sniper Mastery as well, which doesn't do any good, actually, apart from trying to place his speed, but it does not increase the chance of placing freeze. So you'd probably want to come over to, so it's a tier 6 fearsome presence. This does increase the chance of placing the freeze. If you're going to be using him, oh my god, I keep doing that. If you're going to be using him expressly in Fire Knight Hard, you would probably want to go with that as opposed to, you know, the Helm Smasher or the War Master. Where do I use this guy? Well, real quick, I know I keep, you know, pushing that back, but let me just go ahead and show you the gear that I have on this guy as well. Just to show you that I hit some decent stats with some pretty trash gear. This banner is basically as bad of a banner as you can possibly have. I did definitely want the accuracy on him, but you need more speed and attack substats. He has an attack amulet with a little bit of accuracy on there, so not even a crit damage amulet. And then of course he has attack, but like no rolls on it, which is absolutely crazy. I probably should re-gear him, honestly. This is a pretty good piece right here. Another decent piece right here. And we have an okay piece right here. It rolled fairly well. We have crit damage with attack on the gauntlets here. And then we have a 5-star attack piece with a triple crit rate. And then we have some speed here as well. I actually got use out of him very recently inside the Cursed City when we were going through against the Dark Fae here. This is the team that I used. That being said though, if you have the Dark Fae, you're probably not sweating too much. Sorry, if you have Armands against the Dark Fae, you're probably not sweating too much because he's just going to make it so incredibly trivial. But I went ahead and paired Yakarl with 2 ally attack champions in Armands and a ninja, and I got through this pretty easily. If I were to do it again, I would honestly probably rather have somebody like a Turvold over the ninja. That way I can basically just nuke them down a little bit quicker. There's champions that are hidden if you're curious. Other places that I do use him, I'll throw the run up on screen here right now. But he is instrumental to my Fire Knight Hard team. I've cleared all the way up to Hard 6 with a 5-minute runtime. I do keep meaning to push into Hard 10 here at some point, but it is so incredibly brutal, and we get no downtime in the game these days. So I haven't had a chance to farm masteries for certain champions and stuff like that I want to use. So as of right now, at least I am farming Stage 2. It is a very consistent run though, and it is a relatively fast run, right? Like, Fire Knight Hard is definitely not fast by any means. I would recommend though, probably pushing up to Stage 10 if at all possible for you guys. Like I said though, I'll throw the run on screen here. Let's see if we can hop into a couple of live arena, or not live arena battles, sorry, but regular arena battles. Of course, like I mentioned, I don't actually have him built out for, you know, optimized damage or anything like that. Let's go ahead and try to run this though. Let's throw in somebody like our Lydia, of course. Let's see if we can make this happen here. And the Arbiter is quicker than me, so we are definitely dead. I've noticed recently that I have been very much power crept even out of Classic Arena because I used to be faster than like all of the champions, but now the other champions are getting a little faster than me. My Arbiter is running at about 367 on the speed. I haven't been able to find any sort of upgrades for her or anything like that either, so I'm basically just kind of screwed, but it is what it is, I suppose. Let's go ahead and put this out. Hopefully he's fast enough so that he doesn't just get killed. There it is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hit the A3 here. Let's go ahead and boom! Everybody's dead. About 80k across the board. This is from a champion that does not even have a crit damage amulet on him, to give you some idea, right? So a very solid champion in terms of what he's capable of doing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing here. Let's go ahead and boom. Let's go ahead and boom. And then what we're gonna do, we got the turn meter decrease there, and we have some champions cutting in here, which is a bit unfortunate. My goodness. All right, we're gonna go ahead and boost up again just to try and get him to turn next. We're gonna go ahead and place this. All right, let's see if we can actually hit maybe an A2 here. Let's go ahead and hit Foley just because I know he's gonna take us down if we don't. Boom. Doesn't quite kill him. He does get the turn meter increase as well. It's because we were trying to put the fear on him, so he boosted himself there, which is a bit unfortunate. I really thought we would have done more damage too, but it didn't actually look like that was a critical hit. Let's go ahead and try to run that one more time. Maybe just a little bit RNG coming in there. We got a weak hit coming in on the Lady Kimmy, so she is actually going to be able to use her skills, which is a bit of a shame, because that decreases our turn meter, so the Foley might get to go first this particular time, but I think we should be okay. Yeah, and they're targeting the Crixia this time for one reason or another. Let's go ahead and do the AoE once again. Boom! Everybody is dead except the Arbiter there, of course, and Arbiter had more than 75% turn meters, so she could not resist the freeze that he was placing, which is pretty big. And again, it's hard to overstate how bad the gearing is on this champion. Again, like 4,500 attack, 100% crit rate, but like no crit damage on him, such terrible gear. It's definitely possible for you guys to do significantly better and get more damage out of this champion, so keep that in mind. Boom, 23k there. Let's go ahead and see if we can do one more little battle here. Let's see. I just want to find some juicy speed teams to go against, just because I don't really have this team built out the best to try and counter any sort of tank teams or anything like that. So let's go ahead and refresh again. Could try a team like this. We're definitely going to get smacked though, I think, unless somehow we can nuke everybody down and then control the Taurus with him. That is very possible, I suppose. Boom. Alright. So nobody should be able to... Okay, our Mons somehow didn't get locked out for one reason or another by my Crixia. Not sure how exactly. Let's try that again. Boom, boom. I don't recall how he got locked out. It might have been a weak hit because I think the affinity matchup is not the best, so let's try one more time. And we got weak hits again, so we're going to go ahead and lock him out so that he can't, you know, screw with us. He might come in and hit Yakarl, though, which if he does... Oh, no cooldown increasing, so that's good at least. But Taurus does come in and get the turn. That's unfortunate. Alright, we can't fight that team. Let's try one more here. Alternatively, if I had a second turn meter increase champion, that could work pretty well as well. How fast is my Eostrid? She's rocking 325. I can definitely bring her in here in place of the Lydia, and that might be fast enough to bump us up a little bit here too. Boom. Boom. Sometimes it's just about the champions that you're able to place with them, right? So boom. She actually hits like an absolute mule as well. Like, you will get destroyed by Eostrid if you have her built for damage, because her, it's something crazy like her A2, like the AoE has like a 6 times multiplier or something like that. Like, it is insane. We do have, of course, the Taurus, though. He has been frozen there for a turn. Let's go ahead and try again. Nope, not happening. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. We're going to give ourselves probably a block debuffs, just to make sure that the Lydia is not going to be any use. We'll see if we can take out the Arbiter. We do get the sleep there, which is quite nice. We're going to try and take out the Lydia. Nice. Arbiter takes her down. Decrease the cooldowns so we can cycle back around. A2. Taurus could not resist the freeze. Sorry, A3. Taurus could not resist the freeze. Boom. And boom. Increase attack, increase turn meter. He should be able to come in and get the finishing blow now. Third time is the charm. I was making the champion look bad. That's on me, not him. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys use Yakarl and where you use them, how you have them built. Again, feel free to roast me on my builds as well. The other thing I want to call out in relation to the channel is we do actually have memberships live now. So if you want to help support a subpar YouTuber such as myself, feel free to sign up. I have a tier at $3.99 per month, which I actually will start shouting out any members at the end of videos. So I'll have like a little scrolling list or something like that, which I think will be pretty cool. But yeah, much appreciated if you do decide to sign up for that. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. I'm just doing this mainly for fun. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.